Assalamu alaikum. Hi guys, hope you're well. Dumelang, goeiedag. I hope you guys are having a good day. Just a quick one, been asked some questions that I want to share with you. Why did Moti Group go for an ex parte application? This is my opinion. I'm not part of the Moti Group, but this is my understanding of it. I had a chat with the CEO today. He'll give his full report probably in the next week or two. However, I just want to explain my perspective. It's quite simple. Everyone has the relief that we sought. It's when you distrust people with information, as an example, and when they've done something wrong and you don't trust them to ensure that they're looking after your information or whatever they've stolen, in this case, then you approach the High Court and you say, please give me relief because these people have done an unjust deed of stealing or whatever. In this case, it's been theft and abusing the right to your information so that it can be looked after and protected. They did that. They got the order. This was on the Thursday. On the Friday, they obviously lost their minds, and they quickly ran to court and made an appointment with the judge to go to court on a Saturday. But why the ex parte? I want to explain to you why the ex parte. Apart from being embarrassed on Saturday around issues of urgency, and to be quite honest, the attorney on record was a young lady, I don't remember her name, she misled the court. Because what she did say was that there was a gagging order for Amabungani against all of Moti Group's writing about them or writing it all about them. It's untrue. They've continuously harassed us, Amabungani, as a family, and I'm sure as the business. They've been harassing me, and they continue to write bad stories with their co-conspirators, as I call them, which is News 24. But I just want to explain something to you guys. It's very important as an entrepreneur to understand this. As part of the information that was there, we referred to something called IP. And that doesn't mean Indian people. It means intellectual property. Just so we're clear on that. And there was intellectual property on a transaction that started off in 2014 and 2015. And this intellectual property is called an Alumothermic process, which we've managed to bring to finality. And this particular process allows us to do reduction of oxide material like chromium and turn it into ferrochrome without using any electricity. Now, it cost Moti Group, while I was looking after Moti Group, about 2.8 billion to develop this in R&D and losses. We went through a long process. It was rigorous. I can't tell you. I was part of the process. I'm not a metallurgical engineer, but there were some scary moments there while we were developing this new tech because it's quite an advanced tech and it's quite a robust thing. What normally takes 6 hours in a factory, and there's only one other factory that produces that I know of that on a large scale, the type of product we're talking about, which is ultra low and low carbon ferrochrome, high grade ferrochrome. This particular initiative went to Zimbabwe, and a factory was built in Zimbabwe at our mine in Zimbabwe, African Chrome Fields. It costs about $30 million, which is around 600 million rand, or thereabout. And we developed the factory. It's about to open in the next couple of days, maybe 45 days. And we were sore about this fact because it's one thing to steal information on my family. It's another thing to steal information about our business and our trading and our dealing. We can handle all of those, and we have been handling it. We have been answering the right questions to Amabungani and their co-conspirators. But this particular thing is of value to us as one of the IPs that was on the documents that was stolen. Now, they're in possession of it, and they make no bones about it. They say, we're in possession of it. It's on a server overseas, and God only knows why they keep it overseas on a server. And you can imagine what that is. But they keep it overseas because it's safe. Like my server wasn't safe. But anyway, so they keep it there and they say they're not in control of this particular pieces of equipment this information. But yet they undertake not to destroy, change, or otherwise disseminate it. How do you do that? I'm not in control of it. I don't have it, but I'll make sure it's not destroyed. And occasionally, I'll just take what I want from the server. Interesting, isn't it? What does that actually say to me? They're lying, again, and that they have access to it, and that they can do with it as they want when they want. But my risk is my IP. We spent 2.8 billion plus another 600 million on this initiative. If it were to be put into our competitors' hands, if it were to be disseminated in the industry we're operating in, It will not be good for us. Certainly you can use your mind and think. Anybody in their right mind, even Tesla, if their IP was stolen, they would go mad. They'd go to court. They'd go everywhere. Why am I different? I shouldn't be treated differently. But you know what? Because you're a journalist, you can steal, and you can steal not anything. I can't see how that IP in itself is of any public interest. It's proprietary. It's owned by us. We haven't registered a copyright and patent, so it's quite loose now. Now it's even more risky for me. It's lying with them. Our various tests, our process of acquiring and perfecting this technology, amazing stuff. Spent a lot of time, forget about the money only in this particular initiative. And these guys just throw their hands up, and we are journalists, and they do one wrong thing. They go to News 24's boss, and they form this little alliance, and they go to now, I think it's called SANEF, and they make them part of this fight. And let's talk about SANEF. SANEF didn't at any point consider one fact. Is this a whistleblower or is this a theft? That's the most important question. If it is a theft, am I entitled to the information? And they'll say, yes, we are, because it's in public interest. None of what they wrote about other, perhaps maybe in Zimbabwe, and the issues they raised could be of public interest. The rest is not. It's my personal stuff. Yet I must be deprived of my IP, my information. I don't even know what they got. I don't even know the extent to which it's already been disseminated. I was in an interview the other day on television, and it became clear to me that the reporter there was briefed by someone or the other, possibly from Amabugani, and they've clubbed together. It appears to me that SANEF is putting a whole host of media together in order to fight Sam Soul's misdemeanor. It's very unfair. This morning I woke up, I seen an opinion piece by Ajahn Baswan's company. Interesting. It had nobody's name attached to it, but it was there. So you don't even know who wrote it. So they're writing this murky darkness. Yet they can't handle criticism themselves. But the reality is there's a time and place. This is an easy case, guys. This is a simple case of, did you steal and should you be responsible? Are you part of a theft? Should you take responsibility? Nothing more than that. And if you're in possession of stolen stuff that you know it is stolen and it isn't in public interest, then are you guilty? Now that's going to be a constitutional issue, I think. I don't think this rests here. I'm semi-retired. I thought I'm going to spend a lot of time at home and fishing, and I don't like fishing. But going hunting and doing hobbies and stuff and still running my business in Zimbabwe, it seems I'm going to be at the Constitutional Court for a little while. And I'm ready for it. I still am 48 years old. I've got a few years on me, please God. I think we have enough money to fight this thing. And I'm looking forward to it because I do believe that there are young people out there that should not be abused like this. Young entrepreneurs should never face the difficulties I'm facing. And young journalists should never learn from bad journalists like Amabungani and their team. They should respect people's privacy at times, operate in a good integrity. Like I had an interview with a man this morning. I don't want to mention his name on radio. Absolute gentleman. Asked the questions, got the answers. That's what media is about. Fair balance. Making sure you give someone the opportunity to have an explanation for themselves. And then the public decides. But this has become a court. And guess who's the senior judge? None other than Sam and his crony from News 24. They run the whole bench. They finance and support SANEF. They do all of those type of things. And we're going to unpack all of that along the way. Trust me. It's not only unpacking for me. It's going to be a nice unpacking for them. You know, they want to look at my personal life. They want to get personal with me. So it's fine. I answer the questions. But I'm sure they'll be able to do the same at some point in time. And they'll have that opportunity. Anyway, I'm signing off. I hope this is valuable to you. Sorry for the long, boring speeches. I'm thinking of doing a very important thing for you guys because you've been so amazing to me. I may take the Bugatti out in the next 2 or 3 days. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to drive it fast because they're going to say I'm breaking the law and I'm not driving on a place that I shouldn't go over 120. So I'm not going to show you the meter and I'm not going to break the law. But I'm going to let you experience the vehicle because I know all of you guys love it. And we're going to talk in that time a little bit about mentorship and where we are looking at the wonderful proposals I received. There's some amazing ones, some young guys, well done young guys. Some older people also, very cool. There's some talent out there. I'm seeing great talent. But I also want to give you a bit of feedback and to let you know that I have been looking at it. I may give feedback to some people online. I hope that's okay with you so that you can get my gut feel for what I think and how I think about things. We have the balance of the month to identify that winner. So I'm also very excited about that. And by end of the month, I want to know whether we should have another webinar. Let me know. I love the previous one. I'm sorry I wasn't good at it. If I was erring in any way and not answering everybody's questions, forgive me. I'll try my best the next time. I think I love the interaction. Later in the year, I want us to have a full-on get-together with entrepreneurs, whoever you are, so that we can get together and, rub shoulders. We're not too big and more important than anybody else. I want to be on the ground, listening to you guys, understanding your problems. Maybe I say something that just gives you the right angle to what you need, and I'm hoping I can be available for you that way. Anyway, I'm signing off. Goodbye. See you later, and I hope you have a good day.